What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the BMW today then. So I am sat in my 2008 BMW 520d, and this is going to be step 2 of removing the engine for the timing chain replacement. So if you saw my previous video, you know that I removed pretty much the entire wiring loom from the engine, also removed the intake manifold as well. And in this video I want to remove all of the under trays from the car, which basically restrict me from getting access to the gearbox, the prop shaft, and some coolant hoses as well. And I also want to completely drain the coolant from the engine and the radiator, and also drop the oil from the oil sump. Okay then, so we have the car up in the air, and I'm going to be removing the two side covers first. Obviously one on this side, one over there. This is a whole load of, I think, 8mm screws holding this in, maybe some 10mm nuts as well. Just going to take all these off, then this whole cover should just drop down then. Okay then, so we have all of the under trays removed. So we have the two side ones, the big middle one with the vent for the cooling for the gearbox, and then the one at the front, which is just about 6 to 8 Phillips screws. And while the car is jacked up in the air, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to take the sump guard off as well. So it's that aluminium panel there. There's just 5 16mm bolts holding that in, so I'm just going to drop that down now. Okay then, so with all of the under trays removed, that's how it's looking at the moment. Obviously have a lot better access to everything we need to get to now. The gearbox, the bell housing bolts that bolts onto the engine, we have access to that now. And yeah, we can get to access anything that we need to. I'll also be changing the fuel filter out as well before I put these covers back on, so I need to remember to do that. But yeah, looking a lot better now. Okay then, so as the car is already up in the air, I thought it'd be a good opportunity now to drain the oil. So we have the sump here, and it is a 7mm bolt holding the oil in. So we have our oil drain tub. Just going to crack this loose. That was actually really loose. Okay. It's a long bolt. Okay, so usually I would drain the oil when it is slightly warm, because obviously it'll flow better, but here we have no choice. And to be honest, it doesn't actually look like it's flowing too bad, so yeah, we'll let that drain pretty much completely, and then we'll go ahead and put the sump plug back in. Okay then, so the sump has stopped flowing now. I'm going to go ahead and put the sump plug back in. Let's give that a clean up. Okay then, so right now I'm going to be draining the coolant, of course. Now I'm actually going to unclip this intercooler hose from that goes from the intercooler to the intake manifold, just so I can better access the coolant release valve, which is on the bottom of the radiator. So let's just unclip that. Should just pop off, and we should be able to pull this down now, because it's disconnected from the top. There's no intake manifold in place, so that should come off. That's that. Okay then, now then what we're going to do is actually try and show you the little valve that you need to turn. So it's that thing right there, that red screw. I'm pretty sure it's just a flathead screwdriver in there. Turn it, and then the coolant should leak out the bottom. I actually may just go ahead and remove the whole screw, and then it should just come out a lot quicker as well. So let's do that now. I don't think it does remove completely. Okay. Yeah, so that doesn't actually remove completely, but I'm pretty sure the reason why it's only dripping is because the cap is on the header tank, which I'm actually going to go ahead and remove now. There we go, cap removed. Okay then, so I think while the coolant is draining from the bottom of the radiator down there, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove some of the hoses from the engine. Like for example, I can remove this pipe here, which goes from the turbo to the airbox. I can remove the airbox itself. This pipe here, the crankcase breather. There's also a hose that goes from the turbo to the intercooler, so I can remove them. As far as the coolant hoses are concerned, I'm not going to remove them until I put that plug back in, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to remove some coolant from the block itself, but I'm going to go ahead and start removing some of this stuff as well. Yeah. Okay then, so there's that pipe removed. With these pipes, these boost pipes, it's literally just a case of lifting these clips up, one on either side, and then it should just pull off. One side should pull off the turbo, the other side is fixed onto the intercooler. That side there. Okay, so as I took the pipe off the bottom of the radiator, more started coming at the bottom of the radiator. Technically, after this is drained, there shouldn't be any more in the radiator, but in theory there should still be a little bit more in the engine block, but I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to get that out now. Yeah, I don't think there's any more lower coolant hoses that go into the engine. There's maybe a couple down there. We'll find out about that in a bit. Yeah, looking pretty clear at the moment. Okay then, so we have managed to take out pretty much every coolant hose on the engine now, bar one, which is the heater return line. Well, the heater return hose, which goes back, you know, from the heater to the engine block. So we've taken all these pipes out. These can just fold up out the way. They're not in the way of the engine now. And we've got this one as well, which comes from the bottle. That goes on there. I can fold out the way, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna call this a day. We've got to a good stage now. Like I said, removed the intercooler hoses, removed the coolant hoses, we've dropped the coolant, we've dropped the oil, we've removed all of the under trays. So yeah, pleased with what we've got done today. Okay then, so we are a big step closer to getting this engine out and replacing the timing chain on it. So today then we have removed all of the under trays from the bottom of the car, including the sump guard. We have dropped the coolant, we've dropped the oil, and we've removed a whole bunch of hoses, namely the intercooler boost hoses, the air box, and a whole bunch of the coolant hoses as well. And I'm hoping in the next step we will be able to get the engine out, but obviously there's still a whole bunch of sensors that we need to remove. We still need to unbolt the gearbox from the back of the engine, and then there's like the engine mounts and all that good stuff as well. So I'll probably be doing that in the next video. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.